Hello, everyone. Hello, my fascinating Renaissance ladies. Right, and welcome to our seventh episode. And it seems just like yesterday that I am fidgeting here and figuring out, how my maiden episode is gonna be. And I'm just so happy that a lot of you are commenting that they found the first six episodes really, really heavy and deep, deep in insights. Well, I am really just so happy because this program is meant for you. Now, if this is the first time you're joining us, okay, we welcome you to this channel, My Season of Life, Life at 60 and Beyond. And if you're really wondering very quickly why I address all of you, my beautiful ladies, as fascinating Renaissance ladies and not just beautiful ladies, well, okay, I would like you to click, your left and watch after this, watch all six episodes because all episodes, build on each other. See, they build on each other. It's not really random. Okay, this is how my mind works. All right, and episode one will tell you why. Okay, and why my season of life, why life 60 and beyond. How about if you're 20? Is this program not for you? Of course, it is because it will help you. And it's really meant for me to share. The triumphs I had. The problems I had. In transitioning. From my 20s to the 30s to the 40s, the 50s, and finally one day I woke up. I'm already a senior, and I had to work through that. And that's why, if I knew then what I know now, that transition is going to be a little bit polished. It will be a little bit, how do I say it, smoother, and I would like to help the ladies, our ladies here, our Renaissance ladies, to transition, give them all the help because I had to do it alone. There's nobody I can go to, and it was tough. So since my ikigai, so now again, you know what ikigai is. So it's the reason for living. You can watch it, I think, in episode 4. Okay, what makes you wake up early. What makes you wake up in the morning is the reason for being. What gives you joy and things like that. But bottom line here is you will never hear me say we're getting old. Okay, I would always refer to aging because we are reframing, okay, the stereotype of we're getting older, old women, 60 years old. Oh, you're old. No, we're not old. We are aging gracefully and mellowing like fine wine, right? And together we are creating a roadmap, okay, in how to navigate this autumn of our life because we are in the autumn of our life. That's why it's season. Our years of life correspond to the seasons in nature. So we can harmonize, right? That is all explained in the past episodes. So I strongly recommend that you click that and see the past episodes. Okay, so last episode I was sharing, I began sharing with you ladies because this is what you have requested, the la dolce vita, meaning, the Italians have a way of saying that it's what is the great life that you want because we're supposed to create, you know, our dream life, a great life. But we have to define it according to our own terms. Because a great life for me may be different from somebody, for her, a great life means this. So I shared what my great life is all about, with 9 characteristics. And they asked me if I can explain further because they like the paradox. They also like the depth and they're really are really learning a lot. Okay, so let me share with you a secret before I continue, with the rest of the characteristics. Right? I'm sure you notice from episode one up to now, you notice that I look down every now and then, because I love writing. Okay, in fact, my friends, my clients, every time they will talk to me, they'd say, "No, Miss Molly, you stay. We would like to talk to you more. It's because, we learn a lot from you. You're just so deep. Where are you getting all of your content?" I said, "You should be able to, why don't you launch your YouTube channel because you have a lot of content to share." Well, I was really, waiting for this chance, and now here it is. Okay. One of my secrets and one of the things I really enjoy is what? Is writing on journals. I love to write. That is why I keep on saying we are on episode 5, episode 6, and all of that because I keep track. I keep track. I document everything. And then I would look at it and say, "Whoa, I said this 2 years ago." Yeah, that's how it started, and now I'm doing this. I get to do that, and I really write. In fact, I have here in front of me, two of my journals, and it has dates on them, like this is. Okay, today is March 15, Friday. I would have that. And, my husband loves looking at it. I said, "May I read?" "Yeah, yeah, yeah, you may read." Okay, because again, we will talk about that. Like some women would not want, their loving partners, to take a look at what they write. There are some entries here that I keep to myself, but generally I share it with my husband because remember, we're in it together. We build, a great life for us. And let me read to you one of the things that 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 inspired me, to write these things. It's from Susan Sontag. She said, and I quote, "The fear of becoming old is born of the recognition that one is not living now the life that one wishes." Can you imagine that? This is what I've been talking about. That's why I don't like the word old. Okay, we reframed this already, ladies. We did, isn't it? We don't say old because old is final, it's static, it's rigid. But we change into aging because it's a process of becoming. It's a process of transforming into better and better and better individuals. Because, and so I'm not the only one. She said, and may I repeat because I like it so much, the fear of becoming old, okay, is born of the recognition that one is not living now the life that one wishes. What are we talking about? We are creating, no, the great life that we want. We can, we should not be, intimidated by this. Okay, and then let me read to you, okay, what I have written. After that, I copied it and I said, "Profound." I said, "I told myself I will no longer dye my hair when I turn 80." Oh, several years from now, because I will no longer have to worry about the pesky ageism, okay, that we experience. Ageism means, the practice of automatically what? Labeling people, old, which means you are not sharp enough, you're not intelligent enough, you're not growing, and then if you are 50 or 60 or 65 years old and you have a job, your company, somehow, does not look at you just like they like young blood. They want young blood because you're about to retire. I think that's ageism. I fight that all the time, my ladies. Okay, so I said here, I am enjoying my life now. Okay, because I have defined, I have written, my personal manifesto. I already did my ikigai. I found my ikigai, and so right now I am simply, okay, living my life now. And here's another. Okay, Epictetus. He is a Greek philosopher. You can Google him if you wish. I read classics. You see, he said this. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. I just said that, isn't it? Okay. Contentment. Last episode, I told you the first two characteristics, of my great life is joyful, not just being happy, contented, not just being satisfied. Exactly what he said. He is a wise man. During his time, there's no political correctness. He is a human being. Okay, today, if I would do that, she, okay, is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he slash she has not, but rejoices for those which she has. You know, so I have written here, I have earned my stars and stripes. I keep on saying that. I'm 60 and above. Okay? The past has been good to me. This is what I'm trying to say, in contentment. Look at what the blessings that you have gotten. Of course, together with the blessings, you have the hurts, you have the wounds, you have the failures, you have that. Yes, because we also said that the great life is not an Instagram life, which is cherry picked. It must be authentic. Okay? So I said, the past has been good to me. And I'm savoring the present and looking forward to what the future holds. Okay, so I'm really, really excited, about the future, no? So how do I live my life now and henceforth? I guess it's the question, it's really the question that I've been telling myself, and this is what we are trying to build together. Okay, and so I will give you one more. Okay, I will give you one more characteristic, and I will share with you some of my secrets. Okay, my journal. All right. So the fourth characteristic in what a great life for me means is free, not just without chains. Now this is big. Okay, this is really big. So we'll stick to this. Okay, what do you mean by free? I am free. I'm not in jail. I'm not in jail. Really? Is that all that we're saying? It could mean a lot of things. For me, the most important concept of being free is being free to be who you want to be. It is the freedom to live your life the way you wanted it. Not the way, not the way somebody else dictates to you. No, no, no. You should live it this way. That's, what if I don't like that kind of life? But, this is what you should be doing because this is what they said, etc., etc. That's the greatest freedom of being who you are, of living the life you want, okay, and not the dictated life coming from others, right? Okay, you live life according to your terms. That's freedom for me. Okay, well, another manifestation of that kind of freedom is freedom from debt. Like some people I know, they earn a lot, but they also owe a lot. Well, because of their lifestyle. Well, that's their choice, right? The thing that they regret is because they have to work so hard. Because they have to pay the debt, they don't have the time to do what they really wanted to do. Okay, that will give them the greatest happiness. They can't do that. They aren't free, because they're enslaved to debt. Okay, so you need a lot of help there. There's a lot of help there. Again, for me, free from what? The drama of others. Like there's some people, they have drama in their life and they want to, they bring you in, they bring you in, to share their drama. Well, freedom for me is I choose whom I should get involved in. I'm a life coach. Of course, I do that. Clients come to me. I help them. I also have my circle of ladies that we go and talk together. And even among them, I choose. But that's freedom for me. freedom from expectations and demands of others. Okay, there are many, many others. So maybe I challenge you. What is freedom for you, really? And then tie it with your ikigai if you found out that one, or you can comment, and ask me questions. I will answer you. Okay, and so if you find this particular video, very, very helpful, and it helped you think about the things you love, then give me a thumbs up. It will encourage me to work very hard and give you what can help you. And again, I would really, truly, truly appreciate if you can share with us your feedback, your comments, your thoughts, your learnings, or the things that bother you in the comments below. And so together, let's learn, let's grow, let's have fun. Subscribe to my channel, by hitting the uh, uh, the um, the bell icon, and so we will be together in this journey, right? So this is how I will end every episode henceforth, because there are a lot of things we have already shared together, and that will be, you know, my fascinating Renaissance, ladies. For whatever it is out there, life is beautiful. So this is Miss Malu, okay, your life coach, your mentor, your fellow traveler, okay, so, signing off, and I will be seeing you, in the coming episode.